In today's video, we are going to be bringing the boom to Baldur's Gate 3.
Did somebody say boom?
In this playthrough, I will only be using explosives. I'm also playing on honor mode difficulty, playing solo with no teammates. Now, let's get into the run. Starting with character creation, for race I chose human. In this playthrough, I was using the D&D 5.5e all-in-one Beyond mod, which changes how the game is played and add an extra passive. For this passive, I chose alert. For my class, I chose fighter, selecting shooting for my fighting style. For my background, I chose this one. For my ability points, I went with this setup. For my racial skill point, I chose persuasion. And for my appearance, I decided to make someone who's known for blowing up people, and went with Junkrat, a character from the video game Overwatch. So you guys are also getting a Junkrat run as well. Now with character creation done, let's get into the run. After waking up on the Nautiloid, I talked to Lae'zel, then fight the imps. Since this is also a solo run, I have her jump off the Nautiloid after we fight the imps. I then move on to get my gear for this run in the tutorial chest. Once I equip the grenade launcher, I kill the intellect devourer and the people here so I can level up to level 2. I go for my second level of fighter and gain action surge. I then enter the helm of the ship and deal with all of the enemies. After waking up on the beach in Act 1, I level up multi-classing into Rogue, choosing Deception for my skill proficiency and Acrobatics and Sleight of Hand for my skill expertise. I then went to the Druid Grove to help fight the goblins. With them dealt with, I switched my drip to something that was close to Junkrat's original outfit, and this is what I ended up with. I then level up going for my second level Rogue. I made my way down into this well in the blighted village and fought the spiders before dealing with the spider matriarch. Next was the goblin camp, and I had to try out the grenade launcher in the main area. I got up here, getting a full view of the goblins below, then rained down explosives on them all. Once that fight was over, I leveled up twice, choosing my third level of Rogue, choosing Thief as my subclass, then my third level of Fighter, selecting Champion as my subclass. I then made a big mistake using a potion of flying and tried to fly down into the Underdark. I never tried this before and thought it would work, but I just ended up dying. I did mention this was honor mode, right? So now I have to continue no longer being in honor mode, unfortunately. I then made my way down to the Underdark the normal way. I used the boat to head across the lake, running into a group of Dwegar. I dealt with them, then arrived at the Grimforge. I blow up all of the Dwegar here, then kill Nier. I take the Spider Lyre from Nier's body, then level up to level 4 fighter, selecting mobile for my feat. Grim's boss fight was next, and he was actually very resistant to my attacks. But after a while of fighting, and many close calls, I eventually defeated him. After the fight, I level up choosing my 5th level of fighter, getting an extra attack. Grim was last on my list for Act 1, so now with him dealt with, it's now time for Act 2. Once I enter Act 2, I immediately went for the Moon Lantern. I ran into the group of cultists and blew them up. I then released the pixie from the lantern and received full protection from the Shadow Curse. I also leveled up after the fight and went for my 6th level of fighter, choosing tough for my feet or the extra health. I then dealt with the Dorms, first taking out Garangoth Dorm. I then dealt with Disselbolt Dorm next, and lastly I blew up Malice Dorm. I leveled up afterwards, selecting my 7th level of fighter and selecting ranged weapon fighting for my 2nd fighting style. I made my way into the Gauntlet of Shar and started off fighting Ygir for the first Umbral gem. I then dealt with the Umbral Trimmers so I could blow up Balthazar. I leveled up twice after and went for my next 2 levels of fighter, choosing Sharpshooter for my feat for the 8th level of fighter, then selecting the 9th level of fighter. Now with all of the enemies dealt with, I already did the trials, so next I released the Night Song. With her now free, it was now time to attack Moonrise Towers. I dealt with all the enemies on the main floor, but then I ran into some trouble. First I leveled up to level 10 fighter, and Ketheric was glitched out. He was still downstairs on his throne, and when I started combat, he wasn't on the roof. I tried multiple things to fix it. I first tried just to kill him by blowing him up, didn't work. Then I tried blowing myself up to reset from the last save, also didn't work. So I ended up having to restart. Now once I realized this, I was going to scrap the run and the video idea, but I went to bed, and the next day I went through the whole game over and reached this part again. Now once I reached the roof this time, Ketheric was there, and I took out all the enemies and got his health low. And he knocked out Dame Aelin, then he retreated. After I reached the inside of the Mind Flare colony, I reached Ketheric, then started the boss fight, first freeing Dame Aelin, and then I blew him up. Then it was time to fight Merkel. Once Merkel was defeated, I leveled up again, getting my 11th level of fighter, getting improved extra attacks, so now I could attack 3 times per action point. It was now time to head into Act 3, but first, I had to help against the Githyanki that was attacking the prism. I first dealt with the first group that was protecting the portal, then I headed inside dealing with the rest. We then learned that our dream visitor is a mind flare called the Emperor. I leveled up again, going for my 12th level of fighter, gaining improved critical hit, and also choosing Elven accuracy for my feat. Now in Act 3, I made my way to Worm's Rock Fortress to fight Gortash. The fight was going well until I tried to fire grenades at him while his Reflecto Guard was active, and I ended up blowing myself up. I didn't know what this did until now, but on my second try, I started combat by just blowing him up first. I then dealt with the rest of the enemies and leveled up, putting my 4th level into Rogue, choosing Hardiness for my feat. Next it was time to face Orin, and I first dealt with the Myrtle Tribunal. I then made my way to Orin to start her fight. With Orin defeated and all Netherstones collected, it was now time to fight the Netherbrain. I would like to thank you all for watching, and make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and look out for more character-based runs. And let me know in the comments if you have any, in mind that you will want me to do. But that's all for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.
More light than a spike in your power bill. Or a match when it strike, we devour ill. They don't know how to feel. Their minds cripple, mental game bangers. Never saw losers, but we game changers. Rearrange strangers with the Rickens next mission.